Sam, I have one last question. Of course, rugby is large in the UK and Europe and less large here in the US, but we replace it quickly with football or ice hockey or some other sports. Could you see some of your study protocols being applied to other sporting populations where there is a risk of brain injury?
Yeah, definitely. I think because essentially it's running, so most of the sports, particularly contact sports, involve some element of running.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, the way that we run is similar to the way we walk, and it's about gait patterns. So it's about how your brain controls the way you move. So it shouldn't matter what sport you really do. We should still be able to pick up on these problems, much like we would with balance testing or even other things that we might do. So it should apply across the board. We again still have to do the trials and do the tests, but hopefully then we get the outcomes, and it's similar to some of the other work that I've done, and we find some metrics that are useful, and then we can do something like apply it to different sports, because rugby is a big sport over here. It's not the biggest. I would say soccer is probably the biggest over here, but football and soccer over here are recognised now as being prime sports for concussion injuries, and I would say probably they're going to be, incidence-wise, might even be worse than, say, football in the States, because people don't wear helmets over here, and they repetitively. I mean, rugby, you repetitively get head injuries. Even subconcussive injuries might be something that come out, and we're seeing more and more in the press and the media. People coming out with having severe neurological conditions later on in life, and there's links with other like the field study up in Glasgow showing links with dementia after that. So really there are, across the board, there are issues around this, and I think largely it's not going to, for me, I hope it doesn't stop people getting involved in sport. I just want people to more be aware of some of the issues that there could be, and then if we can get some of these assessment tools better, so if we can make them better, more sensitive, we can potentially pick up on when people have problems and then actually intervene with it, rather than sending them back to play, even though they may still have subtle problems that are going to affect the way they move, and then they're going to get another head injury or another musculoskeletal injury at a later date. So really, yeah, hopefully it will apply across the board.